Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Walking with J.Beau. Tonight, as it is just starting to get dark, it also just started raining. It's going to rain all weekend. Tonight, though, is just showers first, which we're just happening to get caught in one now. I don't anticipate I'll get too wet. I'm also not running on very much sleep at all, and I've had a very busy day. So by the time I'm done this walk, I'm sure I'm going to be tuckered out. But I didn't walk yesterday. So this is my punishment. Will be getting dark on this walk. But so be it. So I got a lot of brush burning done on the property over the last 3 days. It was a lot of work. Burned up some small trees that were cut down, things like that. About 60 degrees right now. 59 actually, if you want to be technical about it. And if you know me, you know I don't mind walking in rain, as long as it's not cold. Cold rain I don't like. So initially it looked like a range day tomorrow was going to get rained out, which it looks like that's absolutely 100% guaranteed. And it looked for a good part of the week like Sunday would be good. Sunny, 52 degrees, but they changed the forecast to, guess what? Rain. So looks like both days this weekend for range day is a rain out, a washout. Maybe by some miracle we'll get a window Sunday anyway, but it's not looking like it with the forecast. Hi everybody, this is J.Beau. Obviously. So we had a wobbly stick. There we go. So anyway, like I was saying, I burned up a bunch of brush, and fire department paid me a visit. Thought it was really funny. Been burning brush 20 years. Same place every year. No issues. I think somebody called the fire department because they smelled smoke. Anyway, I did find out that there is a fire hazard in Maine right now because of dry conditions. Did not know that. So the firemen, who I was not issued a summons because I didn't have a permit, but because you don't need a permit to burn small debris on your own property, so really wasn't too much for him to complain too much about, except you're not supposed to burn brush in a barrel. It's using a 50-gallon drum. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure that out too. And, you know, I asked him honestly, I said, you know, isn't it safer to burn something in a barrel because it's kind of like a chimney? And he said, yeah, it is, but that's the law here. Somebody thought it was a good idea to ban burning things in a barrel. Maybe some legislator or city council person had somebody living next door to them and would burn stuff in a barrel, and it just bothered them. I don't know. But he said just go to the fire department, knock on the door, and you'll get a fire permit as long as it's the day you're burning. Okay. Haven't had to for the last 20 years, but if it'll make them happy. Don't exactly live in an area that's going to cause a conflagration and burn half the state down either. So I thought it was an odd thing that happens today, and apparently in 2023 they really stepped up code enforcement for permits for burning. Even though, like he said, technically you don't need a permit on your own property, burning small debris. Then the oddest thing he told me was, I said I thought it was okay to burn stuff in a barrel. So he goes, hold on, I gotta check. So he calls somebody. He's talking with them, comes back and says, well, I couldn't exactly get the clarification I needed on that. Apparently you can burn stuff in a barrel. So I'm like, so I just felt like saying, then what are you guys doing here then? So anyway, so I still don't know what the hell that was all about. Maybe I'll never know. Maybe I wasn't meant to know. Regardless, rather bizarre, wouldn't you say? So I told them the truth. I said, there's so many things, ordinances that have been passed here. I said, I bet 90 to 98% of citizens don't even know what you're supposed to do or not do. Every couple of years somebody changes something. So basically I said, sorry, I'll go get a permit next time. He said, yeah, just knock on the door and they don't cost anything, and just do that day of burning. Okay. So everybody else in my neighborhood's getting permits when they burn stuff. He didn't say anything. They know they're not. So, really strange. Anyway, just thought I'd share that. I thought it was ridiculous, but it was like, well, it looks like you're using common sense and you get the barrel away from anything that can catch on fire. You have a garden hose here. So, at least I got kudos for not being a moron. Anyway, burned 3 days worth of brush. Taken care of till next year. Sort of. Still got a whole nother couple of trees. Have to go get a permit for those, I guess. Just goes down to all these politicians. They get bored and they just over-regulate everything. Everything. So anyway, thought I would share that. The other thing I want to talk about today, I thought was funny, is federal judge got arrested in Milwaukee. Isn't that awesome? So this federal judge got arrested and is going to get charged with either 2 or 3 felony counts for obstructing federal officer, ICE, obstructing justice, and so what's really funny about this whole thing, the Democrats are the party of nobody is above the law, right? That's all we've heard for 4 friggin' years. Nobody is above the law. This isn't lawfare on Trump. Peter Navarro, Steve Bannon, other people that happen to be Republican get arrested. Roger Stone has a team, a whole SWAT team show up at his house. Friggin' guy 70 years old in his pajamas, about as dangerous as a poodle dog, and they arrest him in the middle of the night. Full SWAT team. But then you arrest a judge for actually doing a crime, which she is accused of having an illegal immigrant in her courtroom, who is in court, by the way, for physically abusing a woman, beating up a woman, okay? That's what he was in court for. So she hears ICE is there to arrest him. The judge, I mean. So she takes it upon herself to be the good doer of resisting fascism, Donald Trump. And she scoots the person they're there to arrest out the side door, which is the juror's door. So she's obstructing an arrest by the feds. And I'm going to interrupt my story because you see a deer right here that I think was obviously hit by a vehicle. we got a deer that was hit by a vehicle. The whole rear quarter is gone. Got one leg there, two front legs, but the rest of it is gone. The head, so that's not a poached deer. That is a deer that was hit by a car, and somebody dragged it in here, it looks like. So there is a deer crossing here. So poor little deer right there on the side of the road got hit and killed. So anyway, back on our story. So we get a federal judge, by the way, obstructing justice and the arrest of ICE. Obstructing a federal officer is a felony. You can be arrested if you're a governor. You can be arrested if you're a senator, congressman, doesn't matter. So she was arrested, and she's going to be, I think she was either charged or was charged, and she's going to be arraigned towards the end of May, I believe. So this was done to send a message to the other activist judges we have seen that federal law is federal law, and if you obstruct justice, you're going to be arrested. Now we're probably going to see some politician do this on purpose to dare the Trump administration to arrest a sitting member of Senate or Congress, and they will. Because, like the Democrats have said endlessly, ad nauseum, nobody is above the law. So this arrest happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a very liberal city. And she thought she was doing a good thing. Now, there was another judge arrested for the exact same thing in 2019 in Massachusetts. When it was time to go to court for that, the Biden administration, DOJ, dropped the charges. But I got a feeling that's not going to happen this time. So, very interesting events. People wanting Pam Bondi and the FBI to do something productive after 3.5 months, and we get an arrest. Yes. Now a lot of people want a whole bunch of other arrests. Where's the arrest of the people in the Epstein flight logs and all the other stuff? Well, they've been there 3.5 months, okay, and they took over agencies that spent zero time investigating any liberal Democrat. So they're going to have to do everything from scratch. And as I've said on this walk before, we can't have people just arrested, then a failure to get indictments. We can't have people arrested and then be indicted, then have a trial, and then get off. And I said Pam Bondi is not going to charge anybody unless she has a case she can win. Because we can't have the Trump administration looking like they're just doing lawfare. Because that's how they'll spin it. They turn everything the other way around. They already forgot about nobody is above the law. And they're accusing the Trump administration of using lawfare. Even though this judge may have broken the law, they said on TV. These people are just unbelievable. So we'll have a good laugh at it, but this big tree on the corner. They cut my tree down. Look, it's not there. Oh, I got a big old tree. I don't know how many rings are on that, but there was two of them. There was one there and one here. Now they're both gone. Well, damn. City is cutting trees this year. I think it's part of their policy of because of the power outages we had last year. Oh well. C'est la vie, as they say. Still raining. I'm getting wet. Across the street getting new siding. That's the house where they usually have a 1960s Mustang parked, a white one, parked in the yard all summer. I'll be glad to get my walk in today, regardless. Pretty steep hill right here. Still alive. Turn the camera around. Pretty soon my rose bush here will get roses on it. Get the little buds are coming out. I noticed that today. My lilac bush. Got some blossoms are going to be coming out on this one. They're starting to grow. Starting to grow, folks. Well, today's Friday. Last day of the week before the weekend. Hope you have a nice weekend. A couple of trees up ahead that when they blossom in the spring, I get all these beautiful white blossoms on them. We'll see if the little pods are coming out yet. I think so. These trees right here. Yep, the little pods are starting to come out. A couple weeks we'll have some flowers, I think. Nice. April is almost over already. loud Mustang. And got some loud pipes on there. Maybe some traditional cherry bomb mufflers. A lot of people get Flowmaster ones. Those sound good too. But I like those traditional cherry bomb ones. They sound really cool. I've got some, on my Mustang I have pipes, which is basically the same as the Flowmaster. You start the car up, it's got that nice ga 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 ga. I like that. Alright. Well, it's going to be getting dark soon. I'll be switching over to night view. Well, it's too bad that deer got smooshed. Looks like it got hit pretty hard too. I have a whole rear quarter of it taken off. So somebody was definitely driving too fast through there, considering the speed limit's 25. Actually, I think it's 35 through there. So they must have been doing 45, 50, maybe more. Still raining. Wipe that off there. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty damn happy. All things considered, the Trump administration is doing well. Interesting number I saw today, 63%, according to Economist and the other poll combined. They do polls together. 63% support deporting all illegals. So Trump has the public support for what he's doing, and the Democrats and these activist judges are not helping the Democrats. The media has been stoking up the liberals, saying Trump is doing things illegally and he's this and that, and he's not. So he's not doing anything illegal, and whatever has been deemed illegal has been because a judge became an activist judge and put an injunction on something. So the media says Trump's illegal action. So a lot of these people are still being influenced by the media, but not like before. So that's basically their problem, not mine. We're doing just fine, folks. Only 3.5 months in. They're just trying to stall the Trump administration. Eventually the Supreme Court's going to have to intercede, and so will Congress. They're going to have to pass something. And Democrats are just going to filibuster it. I understand that, but they need to pass something anyway. Can't allow judges to ban things nationally when they're supposed to be representing local districts. You know, that's the thing. So something needs to be done. And not just for this administration, future ones as well. This is obviously just a delay tactic to stall, resist, cause problems. Activism. It's an activist judges. That's what they are. everything's getting pretty wet right now. Sorry about that. Hope you're not getting rain in your faces. It's 60 degrees, 59, 58, something like that. It feels a little humid though. I'm sweating, dressed a little too warm. A long sleeve shirt, a t-shirt, and a hoodie. And it's not a warm hoodie either. Checking out my stuff. Ooh, big pothole there. Big pothole. Walking and talking in the rain. Anyway, I'm happy Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are making arrests finally. I fully expect the elections official in Pennsylvania that defied the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania when counting the votes. So she tried to prevent Trump from winning Bucks County. I'm sure she's going to be prosecuted. She deserves it, because you can't allow that. And she ended up issuing a letter of apology acknowledging that she acted inappropriately, like that's going to excuse her from being prosecuted. Oh, judge, you know, it's like going in front of a judge. Oh, geez, judge, I didn't mean to rape her. I was drinking at the time. I'm sorry. No, that's not going to work. So, and I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this a lot. Because Nobody's above the law. That's all we've heard for 4 years. It's time for some comeuppance. You want to know what the definition of comeuppance is? That's it. It's almost time to swap over to night vision. All right. Now this is going to look a little blue. I understand this is going to look a little blue. Till it really gets dark. There we go. Recording again. Hold the camera on my chest because I get the visor of my hat shielding it from the rain. Now usually I do the night vision stuff in 4K, but I have part of this walk in 1080p. So I'm using my night setting for 1080p. Hopefully it looks okay. I hope. Had my volume too low, couldn't hear. Somebody's got some lights on the tree here. Hi everybody, I'm back. when I get back, I'm going to cook some pasta. I don't eat that much of it. We have some tomatoes in it, and some homemade tomato sauce. Put some garlic seasoning, Italian seasoning, a little bit of oregano. Yum. So what I was saying is the Department of Justice and the FBI both had deep state operatives screwing things up before they were sworn in, hiding some things. Some people have been leaking. People have been getting fired after taking polygraphs and failing polygraphs. So we even had a couple people that failed polygraphs claim that the polygraph was wrong. So sure it was. I'm sure the sentiment would be the same if it was somebody that pro-Trump in the Biden administration agencies, right? No. We're at war with these people, folks. That's the simple truth of it. Show no mercy. I watched a video by Elizabeth Warren today saying repeatedly in the video, because of Doge cuts to Social Security personnel, saying that Trump does not have the legal authority to usurp Congress to take away people's benefits, she said. Bald-faced lie. Nobody's benefits are being taken away. She is loosely referencing, if you have a problem with your benefits, you don't have anybody to talk to, so you won't get your check. That is her premise for saying that Trump is taking benefits. Wildly irresponsible, with one purpose and one purpose only: to gin up anger and hatred towards the Trump administration, which sadly is working with the easy simpleton crowd. The simpletons are all riled up. If we had a real media, they would report that. And I will credit CNN to some degree. Like today when they said that judge was arrested with the tag at the end of it of, if she did in fact do that, she is guilty of a felony. You cannot obstruct federal officers there to arrest somebody. And I'm sure she felt like she's going to be a do-goody-goody, resist Trump. But she's going to learn the hard way. She will be prosecuted for it. It's not going to be dropped. And I would prosecute the freaking immigrant's lawyer as well, because he was there and went along with it. So, show no mercy. Mercy to none. That's all we've heard out of their damn faces for 4 years now. No one is above the law. And you actually have somebody who did commit a crime, a real crime. Now they're going to try to quietly not talk about it or say Trump is out of line. You know what's new and different and out of line? Somebody is finally upholding the laws. Washington, D.C. is a lawless cesspool. So now we're getting some law and order. That's what I voted for. I'm sure that's what you voted for also. But it just goes to show how much of a hypocrite these people are. What Trump's doing is illegal. It's illegal! How dare he have his administrative branch enforce the law that Congress passed? You know, these people are just unbelievable. So anyway, to hell with them. I'm enjoying this. I got a big smile on my face. And I told you guys about a month ago, and again, when I say that, I'm not saying like I told you guys like I'm some special person that knows. I don't. I'm just saying what I was talking about on my walk. I said that we're going to see arrest. It's going to take a while, but when they come, they're going to come fast and furious. So it's going to be great to watch too. We are going to enjoy this. So they're already talking about impeaching Trump if the Democrats get the House next year, and they will. They will. They're going to claim what he's doing now is illegal. What Doge was doing is illegal. And I got news for him. By the time that comes around next year, the American voter supports what he's doing. He's got overwhelming support to cut government waste. That's been established. So again, the Democrats are choosing the wrong hill to die on. And it's going to be so fun to watch. So they're protecting immigrants that people want gone, out of touch. They're protecting and cheering for young Luigi Mangione, who assassinated in cold blood an insurance CEO. Murder is bad. It doesn't matter who you kill or why you kill them. It's not good. It's not something you should be defending. So then they're defending Kilmar Garcia, who appears now that he's been in court before for beating a woman, and it's also he's been on the radar of police 2018, 2019, smuggling humans. Was pulled over, and they could never prove it because he was in a vehicle. He didn't have any luggage. He's traveling around the country with no luggage, nothing. So he's obviously going to safe houses or places where MS-13 had established, which is very common. So there we have it. I mean, you know, their narrative right now, the Democrats are the least popular that they have been since the early 90s. What a wonderful thing to watch. Watching the Democrats get upset that migrants are being deported when Obama deported 3 million. Hillary Clinton was calling for not cutting ahead of people in line. You should be deported because people come here legally. They should be served first. They've all had those same talking points. And the other thing, I got news for you folks. Chuck Schumer's gone. He's not going to be there. He's going to get primaried. Don't know by who, but his approval is at 27% among Democrats in his district. And AOC's is almost double that. So all she has to do is run for the Senate in her district, and she'll win. Chuck Schumer he's finished. He's been there 50 years, and the Democrat Party's in shambles, and he should resign in disgrace. That's what he should do. Maybe he'll make an announcement. Another prominent Democrat, one of the big name Democrats, Dick Durbin. Dick, the lying son of a bitch Durbin, who tried to go after the Supreme Court justices. He was the big pusher of that. Is now so unpopular in his district, he's not going to get reelected, so he's resigning. Stepping down, you heard that right. A career Democrat senator is stepping down, making room for somebody else. So there's 3 other Democrat senators also stepping down, not running for re-election. So what does that tell you when you see a lot of senators stepping down? They know their party is lost. They can't keep lying to the public. And they've been there so long, they just don't have the fight in them to try to fix the party. So they're going to bow out and let somebody else deal with it. And that's exactly what's happening. The Democratic Party is gone. It's falling apart. Now, they have a lot of money, a lot of donors. They'll be back. I understand this. It's not going to be overnight. And I think they feel the best thing is for the old guard all to retire, which it looks like that's what they're doing. Chuck Schumer won't throw the towel in yet. But, you know, he's like all these other politicians. He's self-serving. He doesn't care what's best for the party. So anyway, that's my view on what's going on right now, for the most part. Things are going great. And another tactic I've seen by the Trump administration is Trump comes up with a policy, writes an executive order, and then they wait. They wait for the Democrats to start complaining about it, going on CNN, screaming about this and that, and then they come forth with the evidence to contradict the Democrats. It's been working really well so far. It's something different they didn't do before. So they're already anticipating when Trump says go left, the Democrats go right. So it's a guarantee. And what's happening right now is President Trump is single-handedly destroying the Democrats because he knows they do this. So, I mean, this is such an amazing time to be alive watching this. I have wanted to see the Democratic Party machine be this damaged. I've been wanting to see that for a long time. And the Republicans, a lot of Republican voters are getting upset with Republicans because things aren't happening fast enough. But realistically, 3 really good bills were passed, and the Democrats filibustered them. Republicans can't do anything about that unless they get rid of the filibuster, but then when the Democrats have the Senate, there'll be no way to stop anything they're doing. So we can't do that. Democrats tried to do that, and voters don't really want that. So, really interesting to watch this. I know someday the Democrats are going to do that. But they're not going to do it until they have a Democrat president. That's the thing. So, right now, Trump is not going to sign their bullshit, so if the Democrats should manage to get the House next year, which right now it's looking like they're not, but it's still way early, way early. And we'll see how the Democrats try to play moderate and see what kind of traction they get, if any. Republicans need to stick to what they're doing. They need to stick to it, and they need to do just common sense legislation. Put your head down, go to work every day. The people will see that. That's what they did in Florida when they first got the power in Florida. Now they have a supermajority. So we'll see what happens. I'm getting pretty wet right now. Feels good though, it's not cold. So when I get back from this walk, I'll be taking my second shower of the day. It was actually about 70 degrees today. It's nice. I like to be squeaky clean. My stomach's growling. Thinking about that pasta is what I'm doing. That's why I'm walking. I'm making some room for it. I don't mind walking in the rain. I really don't. And I know this selfie view doesn't shake around too much, so that's good. Papa's gonna sleep good tonight, that's all I'm saying. I had maybe 3 hours sleep. I'm going to eat a pasta dish later, and it's probably going to knock me out. I cook up some ground beef, homemade sauce, throw an onion in there. Yum, 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 yum. Can't beat that with a stick. The muffler. Somebody's muffler fell off. Well, I didn't think we were going to get this much rain, looking at the radar before I left the house. But it's raining. I know somebody driving by is going to beep at me because I've got a camera. They're going to see the LCD screen lit up. Happens every time. So back to discussing the state of Maine Democrats over-regulating. They're trying to pass a law in the legislature with all the important stuff going on right now. Somebody has introduced a bill to regulate somebody's chickens. How many chickens you can own as a citizen, how big your coop has to be. It's like, really? People have been raising chickens in Maine since before we were a country, all right? Get off people's ass, all right? They're friggin' chickens. Most people have 4, maybe 5. They want to regulate how many, how big the coop is. They're probably going to want you to get a license to get chickens or something stupid like that. I have no idea why people keep voting for this stuff. So with everything that's going on, we're worried about friggin' chickens. Can you believe that? Can you believe that crap? God forbid you should have one more than 5 chickens and break the law, right? These people are just unbelievable. Part of what they did in Europe with the EU and the globalists is regulating farmers to death, forcing them to go broke with regulations like that on how many chickens you can have, how many cows, how many this. Lewiston here has an ordinance where you can't have more than so many chickens unless you're outside the city limits. So for some reason, these sons of bitches are obsessed with chickens. The reason why the price of eggs went up so much, because of the bird flu. They unnecessarily euthanized 22 million chickens in New England. One of the biggest chicken producers in New England is here in Maine. They basically had to start over. They had to kill all their chickens. Stupid. Over-regulation. Either intentionally or negligently. Either or, it's overdone. These people are crazy. Crazy. So I hope you enjoy getting wet with me tonight. So the old joke, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Doesn't matter, they're getting rid of all of them. Starting to feel it right now towards the end of the walk. Surprised I'm doing as well as I am, given the fact I'm very tired. 3 hours of sleep. I'm still chugging. Oh yeah. So tonight, if it had been windy, I wouldn't have walked. But I figure if I get a shower, no big deal. It's not cold, it's not windy. But I did not think it was going to rain this much. It's still raining. I had a beautiful day yesterday. Beautiful earlier today too. Walk this around here. There we go. Had to dry you guys off. I'll hold you right up here on my chest. My visor hopefully shielding you from the rain. I hope. It's not downpouring, but it's a steady rain. It's the kind of rain that sometimes they will play in at Fenway Park. It's raining, but it's not pouring yet. Not enough to call a ball game yet. "53 degrees, temperature says. Alright, I'm going to make a left over here. I'm going to make a left because I got to make sure I get my 5 miles. I am not on a 6-mile route tonight, or else I'd keep going straight. See something in the road up ahead. What is that? Is that a hat? Somebody's clothing? Is it a cat? Is it a dead animal? We'll see as we get closer. Or is it just a weird looking puddle? it's just a puddle. Oh, I don't know. Okay. What is that? Oh. Oh. It's a duck. Oh, see this? It's a duck right here that got killed. And right there is a baby duck that's not ready yet to be on its own. Well, it is. I don't think it understands Mama's not coming back. Well, it's okay, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Usually I don't touch dead animal. Here you go, right here. I'm really sorry. Oh, poor baby. The duck is still warm. It happened not long ago. What are you gonna do, baby? Well, nothing I can do about that. Son of a bitch. Don't that just piss me off? I usually don't handle dead animals, but I know what it died from. It got hit by a car. The duck is just sitting there in the wet grass, looking at its dead mother. The duck has been following mother around, learning how to eat and where to eat. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, man. I really hate seeing crap like that. I really do. And this is the ecosystem it uses. It goes all the way up through the woods there. So that little duck is going to have a place to go, but you know, that little duck's not going to be protected, you know. I don't know if it knows danger when it's nearby. Cats or... I really wished I hadn't seen that. You know, because your natural instinct is you want to pick up the duck and bring it home and take care of it so it's safe. But it's not a good thing to do for a wild animal. You know, the duck will figure it out. That's friggin' depressing. I took the duck out of the road so it won't keep getting run over. Poor little duck has been tortured enough. Well, that's it, guys. My night is officially ruined. Well, I thought that was a dead animal in the road. I picked the duck up by its neck. And it's still warm, so it just happened, you know. That really, that ruins my night, man. It really does. I'm gonna be thinking about that damn baby duck now. It's just sitting there looking at his dead mother. And it looks like it doesn't know what to do. It's like it doesn't understand mom's gone. Oh man, that really bothers me. Why does that bother me? I mean, that's, you know, that's nature. Nature will find a way. You know, this duck will survive or it won't. And if it survives, it's going to be a strong duck. And it's going to make other strong ducks. Maybe it'll find an adoptive duck. Nice looking mallard too. What the hell's going on? We get dead ducks and dead freaking deer and cripes. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitchin' bitch, that bugs me. It bugs me because I'm always looking out for animals when I'm driving, and some people just don't care. So at least I put the mama duck on the side of the road where it's safe, and then the baby can go check up on her and figure it out instead of going out in the road. I think it understands what happened because it wasn't going in the road. You were walking with me last winter. We were walking up this way, and there was that duck that was in the freezing water dying, and turns out I looked it up, and it had a serious disease that kills ducks, but it isn't transferred to humans, thankfully, because, you know, I was being sympathetic to the duck, trying to help it out and touching it, and you know, if it had been something transferable to humans, I would have got sick. So I shouldn't do that, but I couldn't just let that duck sit in the road to get run over and over and over again with the little one watching, you know? So I moved the damn duck, all right? Now the little baby can go confirm that mama's dead. So I'm going to go look up baby ducks. I can tell this one's an adolescent. It has those colorings. I've seen that plenty of times. So by the end of next month, it was probably going to be on its own anyway. So I think it might have gotten along far enough and learned enough from mama to eat the bugs in the water. Plenty of that around here. I don't think ducks live very long anyway. I really don't. I'm going to look up when a baby duck turns into a regular duck. This one wasn't quite full grown, but it was well on its way. You know, you start thinking about things. What could I do to help it? I'm not going to pick it up and bring it home with me. There's nobody to call. What am I going to tell them? I'm going to say the same thing. Well, the duck will figure it out. It's a duck. That's what they do. So, damn. I certainly don't feel good about it. People would slow down and not drive as fast. That duck wouldn't have got squished, and that deer wouldn't have got hit either. a bitch. Well, I'm gonna cross over here. I feel terrible. I feel just awful about that. Poor little duck. Well, we'll be winding down the walk here a couple minutes. So anyway, friends, the damn duck got smooshed. Feathers all over the road. And a little baby duck, sad that his mama is killed. That just don't ruin my night. I don't know what will. Felt bad enough about the deer. Looks like a young deer too. Well. We'll just have to forget about it and move on. Gotta keep on juggling. As Creedence Clearwater Revival song said. Juggling. Cross over here. Somebody's using a cigarette lighter air compressor for the tires. I've done that. Well, my friends, I'm very sorry we had to witness that. Poor duck. A motherless duck. Anyway, click like and subscribe, share the content, join me on the next walk, and I'm sorry this one turned out like it did. Stopped raining temporarily. Later tonight it's going to rain a lot, so anyway, my friends, we'll see you on the next walk. Thank you for walking with me. Bye bye.